Folks, I recently went over some of my favorite shows on television right now, and there was one that really, really has been engaging and I really have enjoyed, and I love the backstory of the real-life inspiration behind this, Walter O'Brien. But the show is called Scorpion. It is on CBS. We have one of the stars on with us now, Ari Stidham, is going to talk about his character. Ari, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm so blessed, and I appreciate you fitting this in, and I am a big fan of Sylvester, man. Sylvester is possibly one of the most authentic characters on the show. I mean, he just seems so naturally neurotic.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job of pulling that off, bro. I mean, that's I guess that's a compliment. I'm not sure how to say that and sound complimentary.
No, it is complimentary. I mean, I'd say that my anxiety is what I draw from the most when I play Sylvester. So it is totally a compliment. I'm trying to bring authenticity to it. Thank you.
Well, he is an eccentric tech geek. For those of you that don't know much about the show, it is billed as he's billed as the human calculator, and it is a great show full of geniuses, and they solve these, and they're working with Homeland Security to solve these impossible crimes and tasks. And when you went through the casting process, how did they bill something like this to you, Ari?
Man, when I went through the casting process, it was really quick. Mainly, I just knew it was going to be heavy in action because Justin Lin's name was attached. And after a quick Google search to Nick Santora, I saw a lot of Prison Break and Breakout King. So I knew it was going to be heavier in action. And once I read the pilot, it just sort of screamed like Genius A-Team to me. So I pretty much got the show there. So I clicked in there. And, I just remembered older television shows from the early 90s that weren't so character-driven and soapy, where you could really have a plot and a story episode to episode, and it sort of reminded me of movies of the week that I'd seen on old VHSs, where the characters were really developed in points of the story where it helped the story out, which I really liked. And that sort of started getting phased out, I think. Or not phased out, just sort of almost frowned upon with, newer stuff. Like an episode of Louie you wouldn't see. I mean, our show's nothing like Louie, so I won't draw the comparison, but an episode of Breaking Bad, there wasn't much in Breaking Bad that was too coincidental to be real. But Scorpion, there's a theme in every episode, so our characters are going to be connected to the story somehow. And that's just a part of our show, which I really like because, it sort of makes it a moving target. We can go anywhere.
Well, Genius A-Team is probably a great adjective for it. I know I just posted, you guys have all been talking to some of the press. I just posted a little bit, and one of the creators was talking about how much they want this show rooted in reality, and it is really fascinating because of the people that I've talked to that have been critical of the show. It's almost like they don't get the realism that is sort of interwoven in there. And I've researched a few of the facts, and of course Walter's real life escapades a little bit. How much attention is set on that? We got to make this believable. I'm assuming you guys bring in experts on set and those kinds of things to try to give as much of that realism brought to life.
Sure. I mean, I think it's more how do we honestly go about doing this?
Sure.
Because I know that we're not doing things that everyday people can do. I think we're doing things that theoretically could make sense by these capable individuals. And that's sort of the gray area that you go every time you go into well, what is this show about? With anything, I think. You think about it, you try and get to the what the show is. It's not a true life show. It's based on stuff that has happened, but it's based on. It's not taken word for word,
right?
Because it's it's CBS and it's a TV show. It's serial,
right?
So I mean we're going to be doing things that never happened. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't happened that we've dealt with, but if it did happen, this is how these people would go about fixing it. And would that work? Theoretically, it could,
Yeah.
We'll go back
to A-Team, right? Theoretically, we can pull this off, right? And Well, Robert Patrick talked about the family on set and that it didn't take long for you guys to gel together. Is that pretty much a very fair assessment of things?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. We pretty easily gelled together. We all sort of saw how we all were working, and we said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make it honest. We're going to make them real people. And that was the goal from the beginning.
There's a lot of jokes, obviously, even in the press. That even Catherine McPhee is on the show, folks. She's an American Idol star, and definitely pulled off one little singing scene and that kind of thing. She joked about. Did you guys kind of razz her a little bit as we're going through the process about having her sing, or was she singing like on the side, or was any of that really happening?
I tried to get myself in there because I sing. I tried to do a little harmony over that song, and they didn't put it in the episode. But she's always singing. We're all always trying to stay awake on set because we shoot a lot, and a lot of it is just all together. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's been razzing her for being a singer. It's more just like we want more.
Yeah, it's just sing on command is what I'm trying to get at here, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think she'll sing on command, but maybe, I don't know.
We get a little duet going, Ari. You and Catherine put together a single.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
It would be great, actually. I'm thrilled. Now, you've had some just great scenes with Camille Gotti. She plays Megan, who is Walter's sister, and she's definitely at your bedside when Sylvester is injured with some shrapnel during an explosion, and she is got an interesting bond going on there, don't we? Or is that just sort of like we're kind of leading us down the Primrose Path to kind of leave us hanging?
I don't know how much I want to tell you, brother.
Well, I'm hooked on the show, so I'm going to be watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, there's definitely a connection between the two of them, and they definitely help each other out. This last episode was a Valentine's Day episode, and we saw that he had a Valentine. Sylvester has a Valentine from Megan. So it's sort of established that there's like a romantic aspect to that relationship. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see more as the season progresses. Maybe we'll see a lot more in the next episode. Who knows?
Well, I hope so, and I think it's just a great chemistry with the different characters, the different things. So if we're talking about CBS's Scorpion, and congratulations, it has been picked up for season 2. And what is the sigh of relief on set when that renewal goes through? How does that play out? Because it has to be a little bit of it, right?
Yeah, it definitely lasts momentarily, though. It goes like, okay, so I got one more year, and then what? Because time has moved so quick since we started shooting. I cannot believe that it's February. So we got 2 months till April, and we started shooting the pilot in March. So it's going to have been a year, very shortly, and that'll be interesting to see it. Because I mean, like, I've just been doing nothing but shooting. I'm excited to look back on my life and go like, wow. It's all Scorpion,
It is all Scorpion. Well, at least it's good stuff you can hang your hat on and be proud of, because it really has been a great opening season, and CBS has a lot to be proud of with putting this together. And what was it like? I assume by now, obviously, you guys have met Walter O'Brien in real life.
Yeah.
So what is that like? I mean, is he as eccentric and stuff as he seems, or is it just how did Walter introduce himself? How did all that kind of play out a little bit?
Yeah, well, I met Walter on set of the pilot. He was there from the beginning. And, he was this guy sitting in the corner on a computer doing some work, and everybody was saying, that's the dude that's Elias's character. That's Walter in real life. That's him. And I didn't really get to talk to him until about halfway through the shoot. And it's just like talking to someone who knows more about everything you could ever possibly imagine than you do. It's simply like, well, I guess I got to look at this conversation as just me being allowed to talk to the smartest man on earth. And I mean, he's kind and very giving and very, very smart. And, he spends most of his days saving the world. So it's pretty flooring to speak to him. It floors you.
It's pretty awesome. It is great to have that as a backstory in all of this. And if you don't know much about it, folks, we're talking about Scorpion, we'll link to some of that. We've been covering the show during season 1. Obviously, they've been picked up for season 2 on CBS. You don't want to miss that. It's Monday nights at 9. You definitely don't want to miss that. And you want to check out, there's a hashtag called Team Scorpion, hashtag Team Scorpion, and that'll keep you up to date on all the stuff that's flying around Twitter and Facebook and otherwise. And Ari, you talked about it. It's been like a year of this, a year of Scorpion for you. What are you able to do during the downtime, brother? What do you like to do when you're not Sylvester and you actually just get to be Ari for a little while?
Yeah, I make music, and I write and direct. Right now, I'm doing a lot more short films, but I write and direct a lot of stuff just in my downtime. Starting to build that sort of portfolio up with music and with just, I guess, content in general is what I'd say. As a millennial, all those things in quotation marks. I make music as Dr. Television, and I've got an EP coming out in April that I worked on with these guys called Monomaniac, and they're a great pop band. So I'm releasing some hip-hop pop stuff with them in April, and just recording music on my own during the downtime.
I know you've had some great other TV work that you were able to do that kind of led into Scorpion. You were on The Crazy Ones with Robin Williams, Mike and Molly, yeah. You were on Glee. Any particular moment or anything like that you're like, that is going to be something I'll forget. I'll remember. I'll never forget my whole life.
I worked on The Crazy Ones on August 22nd, 2013, which was my 21st birthday.
Wow.
And I had one line. It was my first day. And Robin Williams came on set. We were shooting in downtown Los Angeles. And the whole day, he was just the nicest man you'd ever met. And he was talking to all the extras. There's quite a lot of extras in this scene. And he was just nice to everybody, talking to everybody, asked me about comedy, wished me happy birthday, took a picture with me. And, I guess that's the memory of working. Because I remember feeling like something was changing, like I had sort of hit a new plateau. And like turning 21, working on that show, like seeing Robin Williams work, it all became very human to me. And I was so sad when he died. I loved that guy. He was so much fun to work with.
It's just great to be able to have those kind of stories and experiences along the way, right? Just kind of molds you and shapes you and makes Ari Stidham something different than he was before he was 21.
Absolutely.
It's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And folks, it is called Scorpion, Monday nights at 9. You don't want to miss it. This is a great CBS show. Check out your on demand. And if you're behind, it really doesn't matter too much. There's enough of a catch up, and the episodes are self-contained enough. You may miss out on some things, but for the most part, you can jump in and you'll enjoy the ride with the rest of us. It is a great show. I love that. Genius A-Team is a great adjective to summarize that show. And Ari, it has been such a pleasure to finally catch up with you, my brother, and thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Take it easy.